The Sergeant-at-Arms is directed to make the proclamation.
All persons are commanded to keep silent under pain of penalty while the impeachment court is in session for the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte.
The impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte is hereby called to order. We shall be led in prayer by Senator Judge J.V. Arcito.
Ama namin makapangyarihan, lumalapit kami sa iyo nang may pakumbaba, batid namin na ang karunungan ng tao ay may hangganan. Ngunit ang iyong katotohanan at katarungan ay nanatili magpakailanman. Sa pagtupad namin ng aming tungkulin bilang mga senator judges, hinihiling namin ang iyong gabay sa lahat ng aming gagawin. Pagkalooban mo, nawa kami ng tapat na puso at malinaw na pag-iisip sa buong panahon ng paglilitis na ito. Panginoon, nakikiusap po kami na kaya niyo kami sa landas na makatarungan na may patas na pagtingin sa karapatan ng bawat isa. Dalhin niyo kami sa liwanag pagkat nakapiring ang aming mga mata. Hindi man po namin hiningi, ngunit ipinagkatiwala sa aming konstitusyon ang timbangan ng katarungan. Kumiling nawa ito sa karapat-dapat na pagkalooban nito. Nawa ang inyong salita ang maging gabay sa aming paglilingkod at pagdala sa amin sa katotohanan. Kagaya po ng winika sa Leviticus verse 15, do not pervert justice, do not show partiality, but judge your neighbor fairly. Lagi po naman tatandaan ang tagubilin niyong ito. Ama, anuman ang maging bunga ng paglilitis na ito, hindi nawa ito makita bilang tagumpay ng isa at pagkatalo ng iba, kundi para sa ikabubuti ng sambayanang Pilipino. Lahat po ng aming gagawin ay para sa ikalulugod mo at hindi para sa kapakinabangan ng sino mang tao, mga partido o kanilang mga pansariling interes, kundi ito'y para sa pagpapatibay ng aming mga institusyon, ng pamahalaan at sa pagpapanatili ng tiwala ng mamamayan sa demokrasya ng aming bayan. Buong puso po naming nananalangin na sa lahat ng aming gagawin, lagi namin kayong pinupurihan. Amen.
Amen. The Clerk of Court will now call the roll.
Roll call of members. Senator Judge Aquino. Senator Judge Cayetano Alan. Senator Judge Cayetano Pia, Senator Judge De La Rosa, Senator Judge Ejercito, Senator Judge Estrada, Senator Judge Go, Senator Judge Ontiveros, Senator Judge Lacson, Senator Judge Lapid, Senator Judge Legarda, Senator Judge Marcoleta, Senator Judge Marcos, Senator Judge Padilla, Senator Judge Pangilinan, Senator Judge Soto III, Senator Judge Tulfo Erwin, Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi, Senator Judge Villanueva, Senator Judge Villar Camille, Senator Judge Villar Mark, Senator Judge Zubiri, the presiding officer, Senator Judge Escudero, the Senate President, Chairman Tigachelian.
With 17 senators present, the chair declares the presence of the quorum. We note the presence of Senator Judge Bongo. We have 18, and Senator Judge Amy Marcos. We have 19 senators present. We have 18 senators present for the record.
If there are no objections, we dispense with the reading of the July 8, 2026 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and consider the same as approved. The clerk will please call the case before the impeachment court.
Case number 004-2026 in the matter of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
Appearances?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready, Your Honor.
Noted. Appearances for the counsel for the respondent?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the respondent accused.
Noted. Prosecution, call your next witness.
Your Honors, before we...
Senator Rafi Tulfo is seeking recognition. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Thank you, Presiding Judge Scudero. Short inquiry lang po for the defense, particularly kay Attorney Mark Biduan. Attorney Binuan. During the last hearing, when you delivered a manifestation in reply to the prosecution's statement regarding the fourth article of impeachment, you said, and I quote, "The truth of the matter is this: she and her family were threatened, and while her response was unconventional, it was justified. What triggered her response was a question about Operation Romanov, which is the plot to eliminate VP Sara and her family." End of quote. Now, Attorney Binluan, this Operation Romanov that you mentioned, are you referring to the Operation Romanov mentioned by the blogger Princess Maui during the online press conference of VP Sara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the question was raised during the press con by this Princess Maui, but I did not see her name sa list of defense witnesses in the pre-trial order. So will you be presenting her as your witness?
Your Honor, at this point, it will depend on what will be established by the prosecution. The defense reserve its right to call or not call any witness depending on the course of the trial.
Oh, I see. Okay. So in other words, will you also be presenting any other witness to prove this threat or this Operation Romanov?
Yes, Your Honor, that will be part of our evidence in chief.
May this court know now kung sino-sino itong mga witnesses na inyo i-present?
Of course, Your Honor. We are not at liberty to disclose that at this time. Again, it will depend on the course of the trial.
Your Honors, Presiding Judge, the first time I've heard about this Romanov is during the Maisog Leaders Forum in Davao City. That was on January 28, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was mentioned by Mayor Baste Duterte. At that time, hindi ko alam anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov at sino mga ito. In fact, ginugil ko yan. Sino itong family Romanov? So napag-alaman ko, apparently, they were the ruling family in Russia that was murdered by the Bolsheviks in the night of July 16, 1918. Malapit-lapit na sa anniversary, 108th anniversary. Kasi ano ba tayo ngayon, July 13. Anyway, may relasyon ba ito sa binanggit ni Baste sa sinabi ni Princess Maui at yung binanggit mo? Magkakarelasyon ba yung tatlo?
Your Honor, I have no personal knowledge of what Mayor Baste said, so I cannot comment on that, Your Honor.
So hindi mo napanood yun? Hindi...
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And last question. What did you mean when you said that BP Sara's response was unconventional?
Your Honor, it was a description, Your Honor, of the statements that she made during that press call.
Kaya nga, why do you consider it, why is it unconventional?
Your Honor, the basic meaning of the word is, it will explain itself, Your Honor.
Okay. That's all, Presiding Judge and
Noted
President.
and entered into the records. Yes, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Defensor, one of the members of the panel of prosecutors? You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honors. Your Honors, before we proceed with the examination of our second witness, Your Honors, the prosecution is in receipt of a letter dated July 10, 2026 from NBI Director Melvin A. Matibag requesting that his testimony be scheduled or calendared at the earliest setting, considering that the National Bureau of Investigation, Your Honors, has been invited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in coordination with the Royal Thai Police for a regional summit on scam center compounds and transnational organized crime. In that regard, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to request that the scheduled testimony of NBI Director Melvin Matibag be scheduled tomorrow after the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy A. Lotok.
After the testimony of your second witness.
Yes, Your Honors.
But the supposed witness scheduled for tomorrow is Attorney Zulaika Lopez per the gentleman's manifestation in the last hearing.
That's correct, Your Honor. After we have dispensed with the testimony of NBI Director Matibag, we can proceed with the schedule of witnesses as provided in the list to the senator judges last week, Your Honors.
To include Captain Bello, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
we can proceed with Attorney Lopez and Captain Bello as manifested last week, Your Honors.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano, Alan?
Mr. Presiding Officer, if no one objects, I will not object to having Director Matibag yesterday, but maybe as a caution to government officials, my good friend, Congressman Defensor, I read over the weekend that Director Matibag is writing because he is to be in a convention meeting the FBI next week. So actually, we're going to be here 30 weeks. We have put aside many, many important things. We have put aside many foreign trips, many local trips, whether it's to help dun sa tinamaan ng lindol sa Mindanao or tinatamaan ng baha ngayon, because we have to be here 2 o'clock until matapos tayo every Monday to Wednesday, then after the SONA every Tuesday to Wednesday. I find it in bad taste that a bureau head will dictate to us that he's not available next week. I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's why you have undersecretaries. That's why you have deputy directors. So I mean, I admire the patience of the prosecution, no? But even the prosecution, they have a way of timing and laying down the witnesses. Eh. So I don't want later on to say na dapat natanong ko muna to sa unang witness, kaya lang si Director Matibag inuna dahil ganito, ganyan. No, so I'd like to put that on the record and ask my colleagues if that's acceptable to us. I mean, yung 20, well, at least those who are not in jail or the 21 of us are here. The whole government nakatutok. We put aside so many important things. And then one witness who is in the government, who is a bureau head, will tell us sorry, but because he has to be with the FBI, siya na yung mauna tomorrow. That might be a bad precedent, Mr. Presiding Officer.
May I be allowed to give a reply, Your
Gentleman will
Honor?
please respond to the point of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
With due respect to the Honorable Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, we will always respect the decision of the Honorable Court. However, we will only be advancing his testimony one day based on the subpoena that we have requested the Honorable Court. He is scheduled to testify until Wednesday, and that we will not disrupt the scheduled list of witnesses. We will simply advance it one day, Your Honor.
With due respect, Congressman, Representative Defensor, I asked that question poignantly last week. If Matibag will be one of your witnesses for this week, and you said no. In fact, you corrected Attorney Ligutan when he mentioned Director Matibag as one of your witnesses, and instead gave me a list of Lotok, Zulaika Lopez, and Captain Bello. Matibag was not included. In fact, I don't think we issued a subpoena for Director Matibag for this week, given your manifestation after you took over, given that you have, as you said, control and supervision over the counsel for the prosecutors. So he's not in your list this week. He's not being advanced for a day, sir.
May I respond, Your Honors?
Please so.
Your
Please
Honors,
do so,
that's
sir.
correct. I gave a list of witnesses scheduled for Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday. However, Your Honor, to add, I also added that since NBI Director Matibag has been requested for a subpoena to testify within the week, I also added in my statement that we will inform the Honorable Court which day we can present the Honorable Matibag, and I was expecting him to be presented on one Wednesday after the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honors.
I confirm that, but the situation is, given the one witness per day rule that we supposedly have under the rules of court, no subpoena has yet been issued to Director Matibag to appear this week. Can the clerk of court kindly confirm that for us on the record?
No subpoena has been issued for NBI Director Matibag.
May
For
I
this week,
respond? May I respond, Your Honor?
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Actually, my statement and my question to the court is not really addressed to the prosecution. You will have to do the best you can to represent, the what you're fighting for. No, so I commend you for adjusting. But my recollection is because I'm also waiting for his testimony, and my recollection last week is said that we will not see him this week. And I think 11 days, no? 11 days ang
That's correct, Your Honor.
sa article na to. So we're on day 4. So kung hindi siya pwedeng next week, that's day 7, 8, 9. Again, I don't want to dictate sa prosecution or ano, but to suddenly say na tomorrow na siya, when I'm preparing for our oral argument tomorrow and the other witnesses, is a little bit, it's a small inconvenience for today. But I hope it doesn't become a rule, especially for a bureau head. I mean, if no one else objects, but if someone objects, I don't think it's really a good rule. Rules are important. I'll have to keep, you say technicalities. No, rules are important. So even yung notice, we agreed on, presiding officer, 3-day ba? 5-day notice.
5 days for witnesses not mentioned in the pretrial order.
And then 3 days kapag
3 days, given the fact that we will be announcing the witnesses for the following
Yes.
week on the last day.
Yeah, anyway, I said my piece, but I hope we will not be able to move faster if we have to accommodate the witnesses, especially if they're in government.
May I add something, Your Honors,
before
before
the honorable defensor, presiding officer would like to hear from the counsel for the respondents. Attorney Binlon, what say you?
Yes, Your Honor. We would have to oppose on the basis of the following. Number one, it will be in violation, Your Honor, of the impeachment court's directive that was given last week, insofar as the identities of the witnesses and as well as the order of the presentation. Number two, Your Honor, it will be, again, as mentioned by Senator Judge Cayetano, a violation of the 5-day notice rule. Since while he was subpoenaed the week before, Your Honor, we are learning that he will be presented this week. So the 5-day notice will not be observed. Number three, the prosecution cannot compel also the defense and this impeachment court to present witnesses according to their schedule, considering also that these witnesses have already been identified and determined. Of course, it will be a violation of the basic tenets of fair play. And to join again the manifestation of Senator Judge Cayetano, it will set a bad precedent insofar as surprise witnesses will be allowed at any point of the proceedings. Number 5 would be, it will also violate our right to cross-examine intelligently. We have done our best to prepare for their witnesses. However, these last-minute changes really affect the preparation involved, Your Honor, and insofar as laying down the case that we want to establish. And finally, if there are violations of these proceeding rights, there will be a violation of procedural due process, which of course can give way to another ground to further delay the proceedings. Moreover, Your Honor, we would, if the prosecution would also allow, can we also get a copy, Your Honor, of that invitation? And maybe inquire of the prosecution if at the particular travel authority has already been made. Because, Your Honor, we received information as well that the FBI had already conducted a summit, a regional summit of some sort, but it was conducted of June in June of, in other words, last month, Your Honor, also in Bangkok, Thailand. So we would have to, again, manifest, and we would have to study, Your Honor, the invitation, and counter-check and do the proper verification as well. So that if it is indeed viable, then we would understand, Your Honor, why it has to be attended to by Director Matibag, Your Honor.
Senate President Gatchalian is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sinusuportahan ko po yung statement ni Senator Judge Alan Cayetano dahil hindi lang naman po yung counsels ng prosecution at defense na naghahanda, pati mo mga senator judges naghahanda rin. At sa totoo lang ho, itong weekend, marami rin sa ating mga senator judges ay pinag-aaralan kung ano yung kanilang maitatanong sa mga testigong ihaharap po ngayong linggo. Marami po ay pinag-aralan po yung mga ebidensyang in-upload na ho para po sa ating mga senator judges. At hindi ho ito konting ebidensya, pinag-uusapan ho natin dito. Libo-libong mga papel at libo-libong mga ebidensya. Kaya kung bigla pong may isisingit na testigo, hindi ho rin makakahanda po yung ating mga senator judges sa kanilang pagtatanong at hindi rin ho nila mababasa yung mga dokumento at ebidensya na nakakabit ho doon sa testigong iharap. Kaya napakahirap naman po na naghahanda ho tayo pero biglang may mga ganitong suppression na hindi ho natin paghahandaan at hindi naman ho yan magiging maayos at patas para po sa ating mga senator judges. Maraming salamat po.
For the record, Chair would like to confirm the statement of the Honorable Defensor. I will quote, Presiding Officer, quote, so Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week. Representative Defensor, not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday. If we can consider him for the Wednesday session, depending on how the trial goes and how long the testimonies will take for both parties. With the permission of Senators, Senator Judge Cayetano and the Senate President, may we defer our ruling on this matter and ask the counsel for the prosecution to submit to us the letter given to you by Director Matibag for us to be able to look at it, copy furnished, of course, the counsel for the respondent, so that we can adequately go over it and hopefully come up with a ruling before the day is over.
We submit,
Would
Your
that be
Honor.
possible?
We will submit the letter. The Honorable
Thank you, Your Honor. So we shall do it that way. Kindly furnish a copy to the counsel for the respondents as well for their review.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel for respondent, Attorney Vinluen's
Your Honor,
manifestation.
if the travel authority is also available, if we can ask
If
for a
the-
travel authority, if it's already issued.
Yes, of course. Kindly furnish us that as well.
Your Honors, we will submit in good faith whatever the prosecution has received from Director Matibag, Your Honor.
As well as
Kindly communicate with him if possible, if he already has a travel authority for the same, so that we could evaluate it based on what you have. We
Yes,
cannot
Your Honor.
evaluate it based on what you don't have, so we will presume if you don't have it, it's not yet there.
Your Honor,
Yes,
one last
Attorney
addition. Considering that there's if and when they provide the travel authority, I understand, Your Honor, that one of the requirements is also the official invitation from the foreign body. So if they can also provide that, Your Honor,
Well-
so that we can do a full review of this matter.
Attorney Vinluen, it's not really for the full review of the counsel for the prosecution, but rather for this court's evaluation, whether or not to allow the motion of the counsel panel of prosecutors. But everything that will be submitted to us, you will be furnished with a copy.
We will
so that you
submit
can argue your way through this motion before we decide on it. So ordered. Counsel for the panel of prosecutors, kindly call your next witness.
Your Honors, I respectfully request that the counsel for the panel of House prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized for the presentation of our second witness.
Attorney Ligutan, counsel for the prosecutors, is recognized to present the prosecution's second witness. You may proceed, sir.
Mayong hapon sa atong tanan, the second witness for the prosecution is no other than Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, Your Honor, please. We call to the witness stand Attorney Lotok.
Kindly situate Attorney Lotok to the witness stand. Attorney Lotok, please remain standing as the clerk of court administers the oath. So far as the prosecution's second witness is concerned. Clerk of court is recognized.
Please raise your right hand. You, Jeremy C. Lotok,
I, Jeremy C. Lotok,
do swear
do swear
that the evidence you shall give
that the evidence that I will be giving
in the case now pending
in the case now pending
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Your witness, counsel for the prosecutors.
Attorney Lotok, you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honors, the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, is offered to prove the following. Number one, Jeremy Lotok is a lawyer by profession, and he was the chief of the Cybercrime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, in 2024. Pangalawa, kasama siya sa NBI team na nagsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente na ginawa sa isang online media briefing noong Nobyembre 23, taong 2024, kung saan diniklara ng Vice Presidente na siya ay kumontrata na ng isang tao para patayin ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang dating Speaker ng House of Representatives. Pangatlo, napag-alaman ng NBI na ang mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay seryoso at totoo. Matapos silang isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Una, the manner of the respondent's delivery of the statement that she intended her remarks to be real and serious threats. She was not merely joking when she uttered those threats. Pangalawa, mga kababayan, even before that fateful press conference on November 23, 2024, bago yung press conference na yan, may nakontrata ng mamamatay tao yung Vice Presidente. Bago pa man ang press conference na yan. Pangatlo, ang utos ng Vice Presidente sa assassin na huwag siyang titigil hanggat hindi napapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang Speaker ng House of Representatives ay nagpapakita na ang Vice Presidente ay determinado at porsigido sa kanyang pagbabanta. Number 4, the result of the investigation and after determining that the respondent's threats are serious and real, led the NBI to file complaints for 3 counts of grave threats and 1 count of inciting to sedition. Number 5, this witness, Attorney Lotok, will identify and authenticate the affidavit of investigation, the annexes, as well as a couple of videos in relation to the NBI's investigation. And number 6 offer, he will also testify on such other matters as are relevant and material to the impeachment of the Vice President. Ready for comment, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent, Attorney Binduan.
Subject to cross, Your Honor.
Thank you so
The
much.
counsel for the prosecutor may proceed.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer, Honorable Judges. Attorney Lotok,
Sir.
maupay nga kulup haimo.
Maupay nga kulupman, sir.
Waray-waray po. We are both waray-waray. At the same time, siguro, Attorney Lotok, pwede bang mas malapit pa sa microphone para marinig ng sambayanan lahat ng isasagot ko mo sa mga tanong ko? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotok, kindly state your name, edad, and other personal circumstances.
I am Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, 50 years of age, and currently the Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Sinabi mo ikaw ay isang abogado, Attorney Lotok, di ba?
Opo.
Now, yung tanong, kailan ka naging membro ng ating Philippine Bar?
I was admitted to the Philippine Bar and took my lawyer's oath in 2013, sir.
2013. Now, Mr. Lotok, ano ba yung current position mo, occupation mo, kung meron man?
The Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Ikaw ay isang NBI Regional Director for BARM. Now, yung tanong is, how long have you been with the NBI?
I've been in the NBI for the past 12 years, sir.
12 years. No? Tanong is, I think, based on my counting, that would be since 2014. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Now, kailan ka ba na-designate as the NBI Regional Director ng BARM?
I was designated in January this year as Regional Director of the NBI BARM, sir.
January 2026. Now, prior to your designation as the NBI Regional Director for BARM, ano ba yung previous position mo within NBI?
I was the Regional Director for Region 4B or Mimaropa, sir. I think July 2025.
July 2025 you became. Okay, now, prior to your designation as NBI Regional Director for Mimaropa, what was your previous position kung meron man?
I was the Chief of the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, kailan ka? Kailan ka na-designate as Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
I was designated in February 2023, sir.
2023, no? Now, sinabi mo ikaw ay naging Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Attorney Lotok, is what were your primary duties and functions bilang hepe ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
Primary duties, among others, to plan